The Buddha sat beneath a Bodhi tree, its shade offering respite from the heat of the midday sun. His serene presence attracted monks and villagers, eager for guidance on life's pressing matters. Ananda approached, his face reflecting both curiosity and unease. Carrying a brass tablet inscribed with unknown symbols, "Master, today, I encountered this curious device gifted by travelers," Ananda said, showing the tablet. It connects distant minds swiftly. The Buddha observed the tablet, its surface reflecting the sunlight, and nodded gently, his expression unchanging yet thoughtful. "Ananda, all objects bear the mark of human intention, akin to seeds that grow into fruitful trees or thorned vines," he began. He gestured to a pot of young saplings nearby, leaves trembling gently in the breeze. "When you sow seeds, you consider the nature of the plant they yield. Technology, likewise, flourishes in accordance with the heart of its maker." The villagers murmured, leaning closer to hear every word from the Buddha. "Master," one of them asked, "how can we discern if such a creation brings harm or benefit to our lives?" The Buddha clasped his hands together, a gesture signaling unity and contemplation. "How can I let go of fear and embrace the present?" I asked, desperate for guidance to still my tumultuous heart. Buddha smiled, his eyes crinkling at the corners as wisdom poured forth from his lips like a clear spring. "Does this tool uplift all beings, or create division?" A boy, no older than 12, raised his small hand hesitantly. "Master, can a thing without life have power over people?" he asked, his voice earnest. The Buddha smiled warmly at the child, addressing his innocence with reverence. "A flame cannot spread its own light, nor burn, unless fanned by the winds of human action," he replied. He pointed to a flickering lantern nearby. "This lamp illuminates dark paths but can also ignite forests if left unchecked. Technology mirrors the flame, neither inherently good nor evil." Ananda glanced at the tablet, its symbols now seeming more enigmatic in light of the Buddha's wisdom. Another monk spoke, his voice edged with doubt. "But Master, what if the intention is pure, yet the tool brings harm unintentionally?" The Buddha turned to him and said, "Even a farmer planting rice may trample hidden sprouts of wildflowers. Still, he must tread mindfully." As the crowd pondered, the Buddha spoke again. "Intention is the root, action the tree, and consequences the fruit. Tend to your roots with clarity and compassion." The villagers exchanged glances, realizing their daily tools carried unseen weight, molded by their choices. "Master, how shall we guide our hands when doubt clouds our judgment?" Another disciple asked earnestly. The Buddha closed his eyes briefly, as if reaching into the depths of the collective human experience. "Ask 3 questions of your heart," he advised, his voice resonating. "First, does this bring harm to myself or others? Second, does it align with truth and kindness? Third, does it serve the greater harmony of life?" His words carried the simplicity of wisdom layered with profound responsibility. The group nodded, their faces reflecting both contemplation and humility. A merchant raised his voice from the back of the crowd. "But Master, what if our world demands progress, even at the cost of suffering for some?" The Buddha turned towards him, his expression unwavering yet imbued with compassion. "Progress without wisdom is akin to blind men leading each other toward an unseen abyss," he said firmly. He then gestured to the horizon where a bird soared across the sky. "True advancement uplifts all, like the bird in flight whose wings beat in balance with nature's breath." The merchant bowed his head, understanding dawning on his face. The Buddha continued to address the crowd. "Each moment you hold a tool, pause and reflect on its purpose. Your stillness is the wellspring of clarity." Ananda looked at the tablet once more, and a newfound sense of awe mixed with caution washed over him. He knelt before the Buddha, bowing low in gratitude. "Master, Your wisdom shines clearer than the brightest jewel, he said softly. We are but shadows before its light. The Buddha raised his hand slightly, signaling there was more to say. Ananda, the jewel gains its brilliance only through polishing. Your mind is the polisher. Turning again to the assembly, he offered a final reflection. Remember, the tools of tomorrow rest in the hands of today's wisdom. Without stillness and intention, they may become chains. The crowd dispersed slowly, carrying the Buddha's words in their hearts. Ripples of thought spreading like a pebble cast into a calm lake. Another day, another gathering. The Buddha walked along the riverbank, the gentle breeze carrying the scent of jasmine blossoms. Disciples surrounded him, listening intently, their hearts open to guidance. As the sun dipped low, casting long shadows, a fisherman appeared, pulling his net from the shimmering water. The gentle breeze rustled leaves upon the Bodhi tree, carrying whispers of Buddha's timeless teachings to all who sought them. Buddha's voice, rooted in profound understanding, echoed in my heart, giving rise to a newfound sense of courage. In his presence, I learned to root myself in today and let tomorrow arrive unbidden. Another day. The sun rose softly, painting the sky in delicate hues. As Buddha and his disciples entered a lively marketplace, the fisherman bowed respectfully, joining the circle as curiosity drew him near. Each knot within this net is vital, the Buddha continued, gesturing to the threads. If one knot frays, the web falters. He lifted a single thread from the net, showing its frailty alone, yet its strength when woven into the whole. Technology, too, forms such webs, binding minds, thoughts, and actions. A disciple asked, Master, if the web of technology connects all, how do we ensure it binds us in harmony, not division? The Buddha smiled, his expression soft yet resolute. My business has failed, and my family faces hunger and hardship, he confessed with tears flowing freely. I fear for their future and mine, uncertain of what lies ahead or how to overcome this despair. Mourning is not wrong, he replied, but it should not bind us. For clinging to loss creates endless suffering. The potter, still standing nearby, spoke up, but Master, I feel pain seeing my creation destroyed. But Master, Ananda questioned, what if one knot spreads deceit or anger, weakening the entire web? The Buddha picked up a fallen leaf. Its edge is frayed and brown, and held it gently. A single leaf cannot wither the forest, yet its decay touches the soil, shaping the growth of others. He continued, one act of harm reverberates, yet so does one act of kindness. The web reflects the threads it contains. The disciples exchanged thoughtful glances, absorbing his wisdom like parched earth soaking in rain. Another villager asked, Master, how can we weave threads of compassion into the fabric of technology, ensuring its purpose remains noble? The Buddha clasped his hands together, forming an unbroken circle, and replied, anchor each thread to truth, generosity, and love. These knots bind unbreakable webs. He then turned to the river, its surface shimmering with golden light. Observe how water flows freely, connecting shores without bias, nourishing life along its path. Technology must reflect such flow. The crowd murmured in agreement, their spirits uplifted by the simplicity of his analogy. The fisherman raised a concern, his voice filled with humility. But Master, can the web entangle us, trapping rather than freeing us? The Buddha placed the net beside him and answered, freedom lies in knowing which threads to hold and which to release. He picked up a small pebble, tossing it gently into the water. Ripples spread wide, undulating across the surface. Each action sends ripples across this web. Let your tools be pebbles of wisdom, shaping waves of positive change. The disciples bowed their heads, humbled by the depth of his teaching. Observe how the marketplace evolves with each passing moment. An endless dance of change, Buddha remarked. In the face of failure, there lies the seed of renewal. If tended with patience and wisdom, Buddha assured. He explained, overused threads wear thin, and overstretched minds unravel. Let balance guide your creations, nurturing harmony above haste. Start by recognizing that fear is but a shadow, a creation of the wandering mind, Buddha explained. Let go of the shadow by grounding yourself in the present, where the seeds of action are sown, he encouraged. Another villager spoke, her tone filled with reverence. Master, what if others misweave the threads, binding the web to harm? The Buddha closed his eyes briefly, then opened them, gazing at the horizon. You cannot control the hands of others. Only weave wisely within your own grasp. He picked up the net, handing it back to the fisherman, its threads now seeming to hold greater meaning. A pure thread inspires others to weave purity. Light spreads by lighting another flame without diminishing its source. The crowd felt a surge of hope, an inner resolve to carry forward his wisdom. As the stars emerged above, the Buddha stood, his silhouette against the sky a beacon for those gathered. Technology mirrors our humanity. May its web be a reflection of our highest virtues, interwoven with truth and compassion. The disciples remained still, the weight of his teachings settling deeply within their hearts. The fisherman bowed low, cradling his net as if it were a sacred artifact. Reluctantly, he nodded, allowing the Buddha and Ananda to lift the sack together and place it onto the cart. The farmer sighed with relief and gratitude, bowing to the Buddha, who acknowledged him with a kind, understanding smile. Another day, another lesson unfolded. The Buddha sat by a tranquil lake, its surface unbroken and mirroring the blue sky. Disciples gathered around him, their eyes reflecting the serenity of their surroundings, eager to absorb his teachings once more. Ananda approached with hesitant steps, carrying a brass mirror adorned with intricate carvings. Master, Ananda began, presenting the mirror. It reflects perfectly, yet it holds no form of its own. What wisdom lies within? The Buddha gazed at the mirror, his expression serene as he gently took it into his hands and studied its surface. Ananda, a mirror reveals not itself but the truths of what stands before it. Free from judgment or distortion, he said. The disciples leaned forward, their curiosity piqued, knowing the Buddha's words held deeper meaning than what first appeared. Each tool we create becomes a mirror of the mind that fashioned it, the Buddha continued, his voice as calm as the lake. When we use technology, we see not the tool, but the reflection of our intention and responsibility. The disciples exchanged thoughtful glances, sensing the weight of his words. A young monk spoke, his voice tinged with concern. Master, what if the reflection is clouded, and we cannot discern truth from illusion? The Buddha gestured to the lake, its surface beginning to ripple with the soft breeze. Even this lake, though stirred, holds clarity when the winds subside. He explained, when our minds are still, reflections become true, and actions guided by wisdom shine without distortion or harm. Ananda looked at the mirror in his hands, its polished surface seeming to hold a deeper significance in light of the Buddha's teaching. Master, another disciple asked, if a creation causes harm, are its creators to bear the blame, even with good intent? The Buddha placed the mirror on the ground and said, the lake bears every pebble cast into it, yet it does not choose the stones. He continued, responsibility is not only in creation but in the ripples it sends, touching lives unseen and distant. The disciples contemplated his words, realizing the profound duty creators bear in shaping the tools they release into the world. The Buddha picked up a pebble and tossed it gently into the lake. Ripples spread outward, touching the reeds along the shore. Every action creates ripples. While we cannot control all, We must mind the pebble we choose to cast, he said. A merchant in the group raised his voice. Master, the world rewards quick progress. How can we balance haste with responsibility? The Buddha replied, a swift river may erode its banks, but a steady stream nourishes all it touches. Wisdom tempers speed, he added. To act without reflection is to wield fire in darkness, blind to the harm or help it may bring. The group nodded, understanding the need for balance between innovation and mindfulness. The Buddha then stood, his shadow stretching across the ground. Reflect upon your creations as you would your own actions, for they mirror the intentions of your heart, he said. A farmer knelt beside the Buddha, holding out a simple clay bowl. Master, how can we ensure our actions bring sustenance, not suffering? The Buddha took the bowl, turning it gently in his hands. A vessel carries what is poured into it. Choose wisely what you fill it with, he said. He placed the bowl on the ground, letting the light of the setting sun reflect within its curve. Offer what you can, even if it seems insignificant, for collective effort transcends individual limitations, Buddha encouraged. The villagers hesitated, doubt flickering across their faces as they contemplated their dire circumstances. The child smiled, understanding the simple wisdom. The Buddha rose and looked out at the lake once more, its surface calm and clear again. Truth, kindness, and harmony are the waters that fill the vessel of life, sustaining all who drink from it. Ananda stood, bowing deeply before the Buddha. Master, your teachings illuminate the heart as this mirror reflects the light. We are grateful for your wisdom. Buddha gestured to a young man standing nearby, his eyes clouded with doubt and uncertainty about his future. You fear what lies ahead, yet fear dissolves when trust in interconnectedness guides your path, Buddha spoke gently. The disciples left the gathering, their hearts filled with resolve, and the sun dipped below the horizon, casting golden hues across the lake. The ripples of the Buddha's teaching extended far beyond that day, mirrored in the choices and creations of those who listened. His words remained a guiding light, echoing in the hearts of his disciples as they walked their paths of responsibility and compassion. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.